Welcome to Greenable Woodbridge. I'm your host, Carolyn Ehrlich. Our guest today is Kathy Whooley, who is a biologist and an LSRP with AECOM in Piscataway. Most importantly, though, she is a volunteer in Woodbridge Township. She has an enormous job that she does for us. She chairs the Woodbridge Environmental Commission. Kathy, tell us a little bit about the commission.
Okay, the Woodbridge Environmental Commission meets the second Thursday of every month on the third floor in the Woodbridge, 1 Main Street, and it's open to the public. Public can come to any meetings at any time. We publicize the meeting dates on the Woodbridge Township website, and at the meetings we talk about things that come up in the township. People email me at wbenvironmentalcommission.com. wbenvironmentalcommission@gmail.com if they have any questions about environmental issues in the township, and then I can forward them on to the right people. So we get a lot of regulatory-wise, we get copied on environmental permits from the land use regulation program. So that's how we find out what developmental issues are going on in the township. So we review those, and we have a lot of other things on our agenda. One of the things we started is we started a community garden at Parker Press Park in Woodbridge, and we have 4 plots, and we plant the produce. We tend it all year round. We have a rotating watering schedule during the summer, and then we take turns picking the produce and bringing it to local food pantries. So everything's grown pretty much environmentally friendly with environmental friendly fertilizers, and everything gets donated to the local food banks.
Do you, when you water it, is there a special process that you use that's more environmentally friendly?
Well, we don't have full control of the properties. Yeah, so we use like a sprinkler system, right, but it's not on an automated timer. So it takes a little effort and time on the commission members, right, to go there and water it adequately. It would be nice if we could incorporate some rain barrels, but then we would have to sort of look at the structure at Parker Press and try to work into that. That could be something we could do in the future.
Yeah, that's a great idea, because that could end up then being a pilot for our residents to see, okay, this is how a rain barrel would work in your garden at home. So that's a good idea. That's something we should follow up on.
And the way rain barrels work is you put them where your downspouts are so that they collect the rain, and then you have an outlet. Either you could have it directly gravity fed into a garden bed, or you could just have a spigot at the bottom and you could collect the water and use that for watering.
Okay, so now we're going to start creating something, because one of the things that the Green Team wants to do for Sustainable Jersey is have a workshop on rain barrels. So maybe what we do is have it over at Parker Press at your community garden, and that's how we'll show people how to make a rain barrel and how it works.
That could be a good idea. We've also had speakers at different Earth Day fairs too.
Right.
So you could do it either way. You could advertise it both ways so that you get more community involvement.
Right. That's a great segue into Earth Days coming up. And Environmental Commission takes the lead on that. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, what the Earth Day Fair is, we invite eco-friendly and green vendors and community organizations. They reserve a table, and we spread the tables outside the Woodbridge Community Center. It's most of the time it's a Saturday in April from 10 to 2, and we get a lot of people, kids of all ages that come through the community center, and they visit all the tables, and there's free green giveaways. There's a lot of stuff to learn from the local organizations. Some of the sponsors are like Bayshore comes every year. We have some solar vendors that are there. This year we have some interesting people. One returning vendor is someone who makes earrings out of Coke cans and different drink cans, like the aluminum cans, and they're very attractive.
My favorite, yes.
Yeah. So she'll be there again this year. We have Little Owl Soaps is a new vendor that's going to be coming. So every year we try to invite more people, try to get people to come. It's really weather dependent,
right.
Because we do hold it outside the Earth Day, outside the community center. But last year we had a great time. The weather cooperated. We also had a tree planting.
I was just going to ask you about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every year we have a tree planting because we co-celebrate Arbor Day at the same time.
Terrific. And so that's going to be an exciting event. And I know I go to it every year, and I always learn something and have a good time.
Right, and this year we're going to showcase a couple things. We have the NJack stormwater wheel that educates kids about stormwater. You know, we give them a question and they have answers, and they get a little prize, like a lollipop or an orange or something.
Oh,
you
fun.
know, as a little prize. We have the NJack wheel this year. We're going to feature our seed library, which is one of the things we started. I think it might be one of the first in Middlesex County, and I'm not sure because it's hard to find out where everyone else has a seed library, but it's located at the Ford's Branch Library in Ford's, and it's what it is. It's like a file cabinet with different types of seeds, from like vegetable gardens, flower gardens, herbs, and we package the seeds and we put them in there. So what people do, they could take the seeds out of the file cabinet, bring them home, plant them in their own garden. Then at the end of the season, when they save the seeds, dry them, and then bring them back, and then pass them on to somebody else.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah, it's supposed to increase the resistance of plants in the area because you're growing something locally, and it takes on the characteristics of the local environment so that they're easier to grow in the same type of environment rather than seeds that you got from a different climate. So with that, you could develop more locally, you know.
That is great. So we keep talking buy local. We got to start pushing plant local.
Right.
And talking about plants, one of I think the biggest things that the Environmental Commission did was creating an environmental inventory. So talk a little bit about what that is.
All right. The Natural Resource Inventory is a document that maps all the different types of areas in Woodbridge Township, like soils, geology, aquifers, stormwater, watershed areas, brownfield and contaminated sites, open lands. It's like a resource inventory so that when you could open it up and look up something. If you wanted to see where the wetlands are in the township, then you could open it up and look up wetlands, and you can see where they're mapped.
Very interesting.
And a lot of these are GIS based, and they're also available on DEP's GeoWeb website. They have the same types of categories.
Right, and I think we included it in our master plan.
That's probably true.
Is there anything about the kind of plants that are typical, or that's
for wetlands?
In Woodbridge and the wetlands and.
Well, wetland plants are plants that are more suited to growing in a like a flooded habitat.
Right.
So that's why you would find them more like along marshes. There are a lot of plants that are endangered or threatened, and that's something that you try to map all the threatened and endangered species.
Right.
So hopefully soon we'll be able to maybe update the resource inventory because I think it was last done in 2008.
Right. So it's getting due. So,
but
we got that with a grant through NJack.
It may have been NJack. It was before my time as chairperson.
Right. So let's just mention some of the people who sit on your commission.
Okay.
Because you have some great volunteers that are there.
Well, we have the Planning Board Liaison, Jim Major. We have Pat Osborne, Roberta Martin, Jeanette Miller, Chantel Greffer, Danny Charles Estain, John Sterneski,
got a powerful group
and Charles Berry.
Okay, terrific. And they're all hard workers and very involved in the town.
Yeah, everyone does their part to make the Environmental Commission a success.
And you really are.
Yeah.
And we have just a little bit of time left, and I want to recognize the major role that the Environmental Commission plays on the Green Team and Sustainable Jersey. We have been a champion sustainable Jersey, but without the Environmental Commission as my backbone on the green team, we would not have been that successful. So I want to publicly acknowledge that.
Thank you. A lot of things we do contribute towards the sustainable points that you could get.
Right.
And one of the things I also do is I also manage the Greenable Woodbridge Facebook page. So any local green and eco-friendly events and interesting articles and information about vendors we have on Earth Day, I've been posting on the Greenable Woodbridge Facebook page.
That's great. So we should get people to go on it and like it.
Yes, we should get more people to like it and spread the word.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much for coming today. And thank you for watching Greenable Woodbridge and being part of the fun and part of the change.